3070. Yeah, but which one do we want to start off with, chat? Grandpa 3070. All right, which one though? The Uncas 48 with 4 kids, or Wild Fight at 3070. The 40. If we do the 40-minute video, honestly, we'll probably just watch that and then we'll go straight to the slap fight. Grandma. Oh, grandma. Oh, okay. This one, the one I'm on. Eli, this one. Yeah, all right. I saw my grandma pleasing herself. This is pretty loud.
Let me just say first, there's nothing wrong with the doing that. I understand that it's perfectly natural. It's just that I was having a really bad week and a terrible day today.
All right.
I just wasn't in the I wasn't in a good mental headspace to process that, seeing that. And I just hope that now, every time that I think about my grandmother, or I see my grandmother, or I talk to my grandmother, that I'm not gonna think about it every single time, because I love my grandmother so much. And I don't want to lose my grandmother. I don't want to have to think about her doing that every time I talk to her.
You know how awkward that would be, though? If you, like, actually saw your grandmother pleasing herself, and then you still had to talk to her? Got it.
So I went over her house today because she lives.
Rick, I got something for you. I've got something for you. All right.
Went over her house today because she lives in Pasadena, and she had a.
I pleased myself to my grandmother.
Didn't see her around. I called out. I said, "Grandma." She wasn't there. So I just went over to the computer and I started seeing if I could figure out what was, the problem. And a few minutes went by, and then I just heard, it was sort of like a and a few months ago my grandmother tripped in the shower and she broke her hip and really hurt herself, and I was the one who found her, and so I got really scared because I thought maybe my grandmother was in trouble. And so I ran up.
Please myself to you. Did I just go back in the video, bro? All right.
She wasn't there. So
I forgot where I was.
what was, the problem. And a few minutes went by.
Yeah, I was here.
A few months ago, my grandmother tripped in the shower. I was the one who found her. And so I got really scared because I thought maybe my grandmother was in trouble. And so I ran up and I said, "Grandma, are you okay?" And I didn't hear anything. So I opened the door to her bedroom. And she was So I ran back out. I said, "Oh my God." And I ran out. And I keep thinking, the part that I can't stop thinking about is her face was like, she was like, I don't even want to, oh. Okay. Hopefully one day this will be just a silly story that we all talk about. If I can't even talk about it. But I don't even know what to say. She's called me a couple times and I've just declined because I don't even know what to say.
You know how awkward that would be, bro? You walk in on your grandma pleasing herself, and then you still have to talk to her.
I don't want her to feel bad, but I guess it was my fault for walking in. What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to react to this situation? And this is just this is not even the top third worst thing that's happened to me this whole week.
What else has happened to you? You saw your grandma pleasing herself. That's not top 3 worst things you've done this week.
Like I said, I just was not in a good place to receive this information.
I'm back, okay.
I hate.
Alright, that's it. I don't keep freaking doing that because I can't switch my full cam. Alright. Which one are we watching next? My sister is actually my daughter. My nephew is actually my son. I said a slur at the beach. My nephew is paralyzed and somehow it's my fault. And then we have the 37. Which one are we watching? Said a slur, alright. Be thinking about which one you guys want next. Be thinking about which one you want to watch next. Okay, why is this so laggy?
Okay. I am not perfect.
I can't see. Alright.
I am not perfect.
Oh my god.
And I never said that I was.
Alright.
Many, many, many times I have said on this very channel that I am a work in progress, which means that I do things, I make mistakes, and then I learn from those mistakes and I use those experiences to become better. Because as much as everybody else would probably like to pretend that they are perfect, as much as my friend group would probably like to pretend that they are all the reincarnation of Jesus Christ, they're not perfect either. And I made the mistake yesterday of assuming that they were aware of that. And I made the mistake of being myself and being comfortable enough to not feel like I constantly have to obsess over, not feeling like I have to constantly obsess over what am I saying? How am I saying it? You know, I'm always so in my own head about everything that I say. And whenever I feel like I can be comfortable enough to open up with somebody and just say whatever I'm thinking, that is something really special. And I'm so hard on myself. And every time I feel like I say something stupid in conversation, I beat myself up over it for days and days and days and days. So yesterday, I went to a brunch with a group of friends. We're all white, by the way. And I, at one point in the conversation, the mimosas were flowing.
I get to it.
And I didn't think that there was anybody who was keeping a log book of every single thing that everybody was saying. I didn't think a stenographer was.
Hey, just letting you know, I'm your #1 hater. I hope all do your dreams get crushed and your streaming career fails. All right.
There. And I don't want to get into specifically what I said. I don't want to get into specifically the word that I said, because I don't think that's important. I think that what is important is the general idea that I made a mistake, and I understand that I made a mistake, and nobody wants to let me get away with it, or nobody wants to let me live. Nobody will let me live it down, right? Everybody is trying to. And what I don't understand is, I said I'm sorry. I said okay, I made a mistake. You're right. Fine, I won't say that anymore. And still, it's like one word that I said can completely change who everybody's
This is a
life.
Yap
I'm
This is a Yap fest.
Time friends with these people, and one single word that I said has completely changed their entire perception of me, to the point where they don't want to talk to me anymore, and they don't want to invite me to stuff anymore. One thing that I said when I was drunk. And it just doesn't make sense to me.
But I feel like if you say it when you're drunk, you probably have already said it or thought about saying it. Or like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. But
I don't obsessively keep track of all the things they say. I should have now, so that I would be able to reference it. But you would think that when you're friends with somebody, they know you well enough and they understand you well enough to sort of give you the benefit of the doubt, and not let any one thing that you say in any given moment change who they know you are. My friends know that I'm a good person. My friends know that my opinions, they've known me for years. So what are they trying to prove by acting like they're holier than thou about all of this
holier
stuff?
Than thou.
And what are they trying to prove by, the only people who are seeing this transpire are me, the 5 people who are at brunch, and the restaurant and the waitress. But we're never going to see those people again. So again, I ask, what are you trying to prove by crucifying me over one thing that I said? One thing.
Yeah, that was a boring video. I'm not gonna lie to you. Alright, which one are we going next? Which one next? Which one next? Are we doing another Daniel video, or are we going straight to that 37U? What we thinking? What we thinking? How we feeling? What are we going, bro? Alright, I'm choosing then. Alright, we're going. My nephew is paralyzed, and somehow it's my fault.
Chest, feet, and even down there. That's care everywhere, everywhere.
Hi everybody. I just visited my sister and my nephew in the hospital, and they don't think that he'll ever walk again. How do you know that he's never gonna walk again? He's only 12 years old, so you don't know what's gonna happen the whole rest of his life. He has his whole life ahead of him. Anyway, I guess that's why I'm not a doctor. But my sister and I really got in a WWE match this morning because
Alright.
my whole point,
So you're gonna say 37U while I am 30 minutes when I'm 30 seconds into this video already. Alright.
all I was trying to say in the video, at the end of the video yesterday was...
Next video, I got it.
Not who... Well, yeah, who gives a shit? Because just because he's differently abled now doesn't mean that he's any different or worse off. You know, I mean, that's ableist to act like, oh my God, he's paralyzed. Oh, so what? He's fine. We can still wheel him to the beach. He still has the same capacity for experiencing beauty as normal people. There's nothing wrong with him. And if we keep acting like there's something wrong with him, and this is a whole huge deal, then he's going to think there's something wrong with him, and he's going to be all upset. It's like if a kid trips on the sidewalk, and you go like, oh, then the kid's going to cry. But if you go like, then the kid's going to laugh, and it's going to be fine. And you're going to teach the kid to be resilient. My sister, I did not have to go to the hospital today, by the way, and visit them. I did that because I'm a good person. I did not have to do that. And I was going to walk in there and I was going to act like everything. I was going to not bring any of this up. I was going to say, hi.
Sleep stream's not coming. The sleep stream isn't coming. With Rylan Moore. See, the problem is Rylan Moore doesn't come in my stream anymore. He came in one time and he has immense sense.
How you doing? I love you. But she started it. She decided to get into it with me. And I said to her, all right, if you want to get into it, believe me, I can get into it. Why the fuck did you allow the car to go off the cliff? You're supposed to be his mother. Why did you allow him to not wear a seatbelt?
Where did this come from?
Fucking neck? Why did you allow that? She's trying to say, you were driving drunk and you got pulled over and you left the car and drive.
Bro, what
well,
is this?
That all may be true, yes. Debatably. We don't know for sure how drunk I was. We don't know if I was over the legal limit. We don't know any of that because I got away with it. But my point is, you had even more opportunities in that story to choose to make the right decision that would not have led to this happening, and you didn't do it. Let's go through all of them, shall we? You could have not come to LA, like I said. I said on the phone, I don't really want you to come, and you still came. I said on the phone to you when you called me that you were at the airport.
Just supporting my favorite creator. I hope we can collab again sometime, big boy. We never collabed. We won't collab. That's never gonna happen. Back to the video.
Get an Uber. And you said, no, you come down here and you drive us home. You apparently got in the car and said, you're drunk. But you sat your ass down and you allowed me to keep driving. You didn't stop me. You just wanted to have a bitch fest. But you didn't want to... It wasn't bad enough at that time for you to not do it. And then the biggest one of all, the one that I can't wrap my head around, and the
Thanks for following. Kugi? Is that how you pronounce it? Good, Kugi. Is that how you pronounce it?
one that everybody on YouTube commented in the comments of the last video, why didn't you just fucking put it in park? Why didn't you step on the brake? I was there. There were at least
Kugi,
10
Saggy,
seconds
Matty?
before the car,
Kugi, Saggy, Matty, how are you doing?
and then went off the
How's your
cliff.
day been?
There was more than enough time for her to scuttle over here. All she had to do, I'm not sure exactly. I think that you can just put the parking thing in, or the emergency brake. There's another one. There's 3 ways that she could have stopped that car.
Doing amazing.
She could have 4 ways. She could have unlocked the door and got out. All I'm trying to say is,
yeah, I do the reaction. That's what I'm doing right now, but I got some
shit
gameplay
at
coming
me,
soon. I got some
then
gameplay
there
coming next
is
week.
more than enough shit to go back your way, sister. And I'm sorry that your brain is so damaged from amphetamine abuse that your mama bear instinct to protect your child doesn't work
We got
anymore.
some games, though. We got some new games.
Don't ruin my life.
I got to get
because
some
of
story games, though.
I seriously think that
I
we
got some
should
new
be
games I haven't played yet.
exploring the avenue that maybe, all I'm trying to say is, if I were her, I'd drive my car off a cliff too, and I'd try to kill my son. I'm not saying she tried to.
When did you start streaming? I started streaming, I want to say last week maybe, or maybe early this week. I haven't really been, but I'm starting to get into it a little more.
You do it on purpose, but I'm just saying it seems so obvious the way that she could have prevented it. And when I think about it,
Doing great with the numbers. See, the numbers, the thing is, they're all my homies. They all my homies.
I'm no Columbo, but it sure seems like that maybe it was not that as much of an accident as she's saying it was. Do you feel my drift here? Because that's just what it looks like to me as an outsider. You know, my sister has all the motivation in the world. She can't handle the fact that her best years are behind her, and that her in high school she peaked. You know, her great tits and her great ass are totally gone.
Show me, like
she's
Discord?
alone.
Discord
She's
might be
single.
fine.
She has nothing. She's a shitty job that
Or
she
do you
hates.
have it on like your?
I wasn't trying to
profile?
say also that my sister. Well, yeah, okay, sure. In high school, yes, my
IG?
sister was
All right,
incredibly
good IG.
fuckable. I'll say that. And that's
All right. Do you know my IG? You're all right.
I'm not. There's nothing wrong with saying that because I am an adult man and I can. Well, all right. Now I was a teenager back then, right? So it was
410!
totally normal for me.
410, my guy. What's up? How are you doing? How you doing? I'm good. I'm doing swell right now. I'm doing very swell. Sleep stream at 100 followers. I would definitely do a sleep stream at 100
Why don't we
followers.
just rewind? No, actually, there's nothing wrong with saying that. I was a teenage boy, and there was okay, I gotta stop. All I'm trying to say, my whole point here, is that my sister could have made the right choice, and she did not.
Yo. Those banner
And
stuff.
maybe this
Those
is,
banner stuff.
well, now it's certainly not better.
I just started stream like 30 minutes ago. I'm just doing reacts today. Next week I got gameplay going. This week is going to be like all reacts for YouTube.
For her, because I think she was hoping that he would die. Honestly, I think that's what it was. I'll just say it. I think that she's only pissed because he's still alive. I think she's pissed because it didn't work. Her plan didn't work. So, Now she's trying to tell me, well, you're gonna pay for his physical therapy, and we're gonna take you to court, and you're gonna pay up. And I'm like, okay, good luck with that. Good luck convincing a jury that you're likable. I am Mr. Charisma. I'm gonna walk in there like OJ, and I'm gonna be like, and you're gonna look like some old crone that everybody hates. So please go to trial.
Hey, Cleveland Seamers are so underrated. Don't nobody be knowing about the Cleveland Seamers though. Hey, y'all got some free time? Go look that up. If you got some free time, look up the Cleveland Seamers.
So that everybody can see how great I am. It just seems like this is all too much of a coincidence. I showed her the YouTube comments where everybody was saying, why didn't you just stop the car? And I was like, look, it's not just me, it's all these people. It's obvious to everyone what's going on, apparently. She has the nerve to blame it on me. Well, she has to, because otherwise it's going to look like people are, It's so easy to say, well, I was drunk, I shouldn't have been driving.
Look it up.
Fine.
When's the Cleveland Seamer stream? All right. 5 subs and a Cleveland Seamer stream is coming.
I was not drunk. Well, I don't know how drunk I was. Let's say that. That's what my lawyer told me to say.
It done me.
I'm just saying, let's explore a little deeper. That's all. I don't think there's anything wrong with asking questions. So, there you have it.
Where